Good morning and welcome back to Tabletop Tuesday here on Gaming with ADHD. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Battletech Beginner Box. Now this was originally released in 2019. Catalyst Game Labs gave it a little bit of a facelift in 22. But when it was originally released, the Beginner Box and A Game of Armored Combat, the more advanced rules, both shared the Wolverine Battle Mech. And while some people didn't mind that there was, more mechs out, there was a little bit of frustration at getting a duplicate so early. So it was taken back to the drawing board, and the Wolverine was replaced with the Vindicator. So before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I do try to release a few videos each week talking about tabletop gaming content, anything from board games, card games, miniatures, role-playing games, and pretty much anything in between. So with that out of the way, let's open it up so we can take a look at the contents, and then I'll give you a review of whether I think this is a good value or not. So this here is the 2022 version of the Battletech Beginner Box. And just really quick, this is the original. You may still see this out and about in maybe your local game store, or I know Barnes & Noble carries it. So, you may still see that out there. The contents are basically the same except for the mechs that you get inside, or the one mech that got changed out, I should say. But just in case this is what you run into, it's going to be the same kind of a deal. So, one other difference, when it was originally released, it retailed for $19.99 US. But there is a little bit of a price increase, just like everything else, and it has gone up to $24.99 now. So, obviously on the back of the box, we're going to get a list of our contents, a little bit of description, what's going on, and some nice big 3D renders of the mechs that come in the box. So you can see the Griffin here on the right, and the Vindicator there on the left. All right, so when you open it up, now, it's sort of like an unboxing, but I already know exactly what's in here because I've had the original for years. So, you're going to start out with your quick start rules. Basically, it is 12 pages worth of rules. They're going to, jump right into it with your quick start rules, the sequence of play, movement, contents of the box, different terrain types, different modifiers for your attacks, and then you even get some scenarios here in the back. So basically it's pretty much what you would expect. Then where to go next when trying to expand on the rules available, and then we've got a quick reference sheet. All right. We then get a short fiction, Golden Rule by William Keith Jr. Basically, just short story. Battletech has always been driven by the fiction. So I really like that they did this. I also like that they just put it in a little booklet, as opposed to putting it in as part of the rule book, say. This also did get a new cover compared to the original version. So there's that. And then also they do have down here the different era symbols that you find on most Battletech products. All right, now this is one of the big changes. Well, actually, it's not really a change from the last version. It is just a change from regular Battletech to the Beginner Box version. So these are your mech record sheets. Now, if you're familiar with Battletech already, you'll notice that there's only one diagram here, and that's the armor diagram. In regular Battletech, you'll also have the underlying internal structure, but they are getting rid of all of that. There's no critical hit locations, there's no internal structure, and there's no heat. So none of that matters. You'll also notice that down on the bottom, it's got the gunnery skill, but there is no mention of a piloting skill. So, basically you're not going to have to worry about your mech falling over because let's be honest, you're just getting started with the game. Who wants to fall over in their giant robot when there's other giant robots to shoot at? So, same kind of a thing. But we have two different versions of the Locust. A couple of Griffins. Vindicators. I do like that they give you multiple versions of each of the mechs. Thunderbolts. So 2 Thunderbolts. Okay. On the back of one of them, you're also going to get basically the tech readout for that particular mech. So that's actually really cool. It is not on all of them. So you'll either get a description or some art. So that is... I don't remember that from my original because I didn't play with the basic sheets. But now I kind of want to. So that's good. One thing I do wish they had done, I do wish that these had come laminated. They feel like they might be, but I'm also a little hesitant to test it. And the reason I say that is some people will actually take their record sheets and either put it into like a sheet protector, or they will just get out the laminator and straight up laminate it, which as I'm thinking about it, I might actually do it with these. And then that way they become reusable, because as you are playing the game, you would then be marking off all the different spots for the armor. And so if you have something that can be cleaned off, then you can use it a second time. You don't have to throw away the piece of paper. So I think I might have to get out the laminator on that. All right. You then also get some pilot cards. So these do come with both the pilot and the gunnery value. You then get piece of art, background, and piloting abilities. Again, same 4 mechs that we got earlier. All right. We then have our 2 mechs. So we've got a Griffin. I really do like this one. I found a red and yellow one. Kind of looks like Sun Devils. If you've watched any of my videos, you might have seen me with an ASU shirt from time to time. Won't say I'm biased, but I am. Anyways, so this is the Griffin. This was already in the original beginner box. But then we have the Vindicator. Let's get a little better look at this one. So it's the same mech that you see on the cover of the box. Pretty good detail. I like this, open missile port on the chest. But overall, it's a good looking mech. If you've watched any of my other mech reviews for the Lance or the Clan Stars, I need to do a video like that for this box and for a game of Armored Combat. Look for that coming soon. All right, so we take that out. We then have an instant guide to the inner sphere. So just one simple piece of fiction. The inner sphere map of 3025, and a little bit of background on battle mechs and mech warriors. Ironwood metals for all the mechs that don't come in plastic. All right, now this is another thing that I really like about this set. So you get all 4 of the mechs, but you get them in cardboard standees. You also get some cardboard terrain pieces so that you can modify the maps from the printed version. Honestly, I think these are fantastic. Growing up, they were much simpler. Little card, just folded in half. They weren't very impressive. I really like what they've done with these standees. I've done reviews on like the Clan Reinforcements box set, which was nothing but these and some record sheets. And honestly, I like these. They're very well detailed. The stand is okay, but I actually got some 3D printed that these will actually stick into, so they actually work really well. But I am also kind of a Battletech minimalist. I don't have to have the miniatures. I mean, I swear, I've told the story before, when I was growing up, I know of at least multiple situations where I used a yellow D4 as my mech on the map because I didn't have miniatures, but with a D4, it was pointy and I knew what direction my mech was facing. So to have these, that's really nice as well. All right, then the last piece of content that you get in this box is the map. So this has not changed. It is the same map that you receive in the original beginner box, and it is, I believe, grasslands. Yeah. Well, let's see if we can focus in. So you'll see grassland number 1, and on the obverse is desert number 1. So, again, my infamously small recording desk, so I can't show you the entire map all at once, but you do get to see my nice, legs down here. So, ignore behind the camera. But overall, it's a nice looking map. They've got different looks for the terrain. They've got the forest. They've got, I think they've got some hills. Nope, there are no hills on this side. So, again, it looks good. It's printed very well. I did get it out and compare it to the other beginner box. This seems to have a little bit of a darker tone to it, but it is the exact same map. So if you already have a beginner box and you don't want a duplicate map, probably not a good idea. But, if you don't care, that's fine. Then we've got our other desert, Desert 1. And again, same quality printing, just like they've been doing on all of them. Some people do not like the paper maps. Me personally, I don't care. The paper maps, you can have more of them, and they fit in a much smaller space. They have the nice neoprene mats. My friend who was on the channel previously, Chris, he has purchased all of the neoprene ones, and that is good for him, but that is not necessarily my thing. So, anyway, sorry about that. So, what do I think of this box? To be honest with you, I really do like it. If you have not gotten anything for Battletech before, I absolutely recommend that you give it a try. Because if nothing else, it will give you a taste of what Battletech is like and why people have been fans of this game for the last more than 30 years at this point. It is literally one of my favorite games. I try to at least give one kind of criticism. The main criticism I would have is that they don't have the mech figures from the beginner box or a game of Armored Combat available anywhere else. You can only get them in that box. So especially compared to the later sets, it would be nice to be able to get some more copies of these somewhere, but they don't have them available. So I would like that, but overall, even for $25, I think this is a great set. You literally get everything that you need to play the game. Scaling up from here literally is just needing a better record sheet. As far as the rules, you need an opponent chances are you've got an opponent who already has the full rules if you need to look at those. Alternatively, you can get digital copies for about $20. So total, you'd be in for about $45 for going for the Total Warfare plus the beginner box. And you'd have everything that you need to play. You have 2 different maps. You have technically 10 different mechs, because you get the cardboard mechs and you get the 2 plastic ones. So, you've got a lot to work with just out of this box. And for $45 total, including purchasing a digital Total Warfare, I think that's not a bad idea. So overall, I literally do think this is a great deal. If you've been interested in Battletech, I recommend that you pick it up. If you want to get the digital Total Warfare, I will have a link down to DriveThruRPG down below. And I do get a little bit of credit from DriveThruRPG if you use that referral link. So no requirement, just throwing it out there. But with that said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I try to put out regular gaming content throughout the week, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to offer. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.